This is the video review for Transformers Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime, and this is a really cool figure. I really like this guy. He is so much better than Fall of Cybertron Jazz, although he does have 3 problems. The first problem is his size. He is very small. Now, I'm not talking about the whole thing about, ooh, Deluxes are getting so much smaller, Hasbro's ripping us off. No. I'm talking about this guy shouldn't have been a Deluxe at all, because this design feels like it should be massive. And this actually does have a couple implications on the figure that are kind of unfortunate. For example, he ends up being kind of crowded, to the point where sometimes it can be hard to find a solid place to hold on to the figure where you're not bumping into stuff while you're posing him around. Which can be unfortunate. Like, say I wanted to start moving this arm back and this arm forward. Well, I'm holding on to this arm here, or it's just kind of crowded in here, which is kind of unfortunate. And so that's the first problem I have. The second problem is these bits right here don't really tab in anywhere. They just sort of rest under there, which is bad for 2 reasons. One, it means that eventually they'll just get loose and kind of hang off. They won't be as tidy as hanging under there, as tidy as this is. And 2, when you're moving his arm around, it's weird for every once in a while, this stuff just starts slipping and sliding under your grip. It doesn't actually hurt anything, but it does feel very strange. And then the third problem is his waist. Watch as I move this arm. The waist move back with him. Now, I actually don't mind this joint. Well, it's a transformation joint, but also because this gives him some posability, like, oh my god, I'm flying! So I like the posability, I just wish that joint were tighter, and I can certainly fix that myself. So yeah, those are my problems with the figure. Now for all the good stuff, that'll be the rest of the review. You have a choice about the smokestacks. You can either have them up like this, which I think looks pretty good, or down like this, which I also think looks pretty good. I haven't decided which way I like it. Now for posability, his head is awesome. It can look way up and way down, and it can rotate around 360. The only strange thing is how it's jointed closer to the back of the neck, so when he's looking to the side, it's a little bit off-center, but that's a small detail, and for how much posability that head gets, I am very pleased. Not much side-to-side, though. The arms go around 360, and go in and out. A little bit limited, and then he rotates above the elbow, bends way more than 90 degrees at the elbow. He has great waist articulation. Legs go forward, back, in, out, rotate above the knee, bend a lot at the knee, and then the feet have quite a bit of articulation too. I wish I had a bit more of a heel, but how articulate they are tends to make up for it. They can go forward and back. If you really need to, they can go a lot forward on this joint right here. They can rotate around, and they have a little bit of side to side. But because the instep is mostly flat, not being able to rotate much like this doesn't matter. So yeah, just a really posable robot mode. I really like it. And you have to spend a little bit of time making sure everything's flat, but he stands pretty well. And pretty characterful too. I mean, there's just enough, just the right amount of slight movement you can add to every joint to make every pose look a little bit characterful, which is really nice. Let's see, this is what his gun looks like. Pretty decent. And here's a close-up on his head. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, his head looks really nice. It's a bit small, but I do like it. And now let's move on to the transformation. I really like the transformation. It's simple, but it's effective, and it's nowhere near as asinine as the transformation on the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime figure. I never found that transformation hard. It was just annoying because of how much trouble you had to put into this. This is refreshingly simple. To do it, you fold these up, you rotate the wrists around. Oh yeah, that's another bit of articulation. The wrists can rotate. And then you will rotate these around, push them up like this, and then you'll take the toes, fold them all the way up like this, and then bend the waist back a little bit so it stays out of the way. Next we'll come to this little tab here. Oh, and this also acts as weapon storage. Plug it in like that. Although it's at a bit of a weird angle. At least you can store the weapon in robot mode. This tabs in very well. Once you tab this in, you can rotate the head down, which will take the shoulders with it. And I really like that, because it means that these aren't individually jointed, and it makes sure that the whole shoulder assembly stays where it should during robot mode. Rotate these around. There's a little hole there and a tab there. Plug them together. Do it on each side. And then you'll take these bits right here, fold them forward, and plug them together. These bits right here are why I had you rotate the waist back here, so that would stay out of the way. I didn't rotate it back enough. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the legs, fold them back like this, plug them together, and then the back of the feet right here, or on the joint that the feet rotate up on, are little tabs and little holes right here. So I'll bring this up and tab it into place. It's a bit difficult because stuff starts covering up other stuff, but tab it into place, get everything situated, and here we have the truck. It's very small, but I actually don't mind that. It's a nice looking truck. It rolls pretty well, although sometimes the middle wheels won't roll. I actually don't mind that much, just as long as the front and the back wheels tend to roll. It actually rolls pretty well, and I'm not sure what kind of wheels these are. I think they're the kind that just plug on. If that's true, I am very happy to see that Hasbro has been putting more work into those wheels so that they roll well, because these do spin really well. Yeah, see, they're the clip-on kind of wheels, not the pinned-on. So I'm happy to see that Hasbro has figured out how to make those work. And yeah, this is the vehicle mode. I do like the way it looks. It's a bit small, but, well, that's back to my complaint about how this figure should have been a Voyager size figure. If this were Voyager size, this would be massive and awesome. But as it is, it's not too bad. I do like it. Now, I do have a bit of a problem with the weapon storage, because you can either peg it into one side or the other, but there's no real... I guess you can lay it in the middle. You can also plug it in here, which, strange. There's no way to really put it in where it's symmetrical, which bugs my OC, but otherwise, you get decent weapon mode storage by just plugging it in like that. So yeah, I do really like this figure. The transformation is fun, involved just enough to not be annoying, and nowhere near as bad as a War for Cybertron Optimus Prime figure. And yeah, here's Jazz, side to side. You can see why I like this vehicle mode so much more than this. It looks interesting, not generically non-human. So, yeah. I do recommend this figure. I really like this guy. So, yeah. I reviewed Transformers, Macross figures, Brave figures, Marvel figures, Batman figures, just a ton of stuff. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.